All right, Rick, you know, we're on the new Stuart Boat Works 26, and what I love about this boat is its efficient design. They've used some old technology, added a little bit of new technology to it, just enough to be comfortable, but it's a really clean boat. It's got everything you need, and it's not cluttered with all the fancy stuff you really don't.
Dave, it's very practical. Practical is the first word I think of when I get to this boat. You know, somehow, all through my fishing career, I've ended up being the guy that cleans the boat, okay? This is when I appreciate and maintains the boat. This is when I appreciate the simplicity of the Stuart Boat Works 26.
Well, their basic hull is, well, and that's really where we should start, because that's what really separates this boat from the other boats. Their hull, it's an older design that really works today just as well as it did, you know, years and years ago. They've got a really, really deep entry forward, and then it tapers to a keel as you go aft. The bilge is rounded, so you don't have the deep V, but what that does is the boat is super stable, as you saw as we were out there. It planes off really, really easy. I guess it really doesn't even plane, it just comes up and runs.
David, goes to its running attitude almost instantly when you throttle up on it. There is no big bow rise that you and I incidentally can't see over the top of.
Exactly.
She just gets up and rides at her attitude. Now let me tell you something. It's just, Dave, everything's a compromise. We've talked about this. Every square inch of a boat's a compromise. If you've got a deep V and the deep V continues aft, you may do better in a head sea than another boat. But you put three guys on the side of a deep V boat and they feel like they're going to roll over. This boat sits in the water much more stably.
Right. Well, the design, you're going to give up a little top end speed. Other boats that have the design you're talking about with the deep V, they're going to be a little bit faster. But if you're okay with giving up some of the top end speed, you're going to make it up and ride.
You really are. And you're going to make it up when you're fishing. She's a more stable fishing platform than a deep V hull that carries her dead rise all the way to the transom.
Well, like I said earlier, they based the design of the hull on some older technology, but it's built with all the new infusion technology and the fiberglass.
Whoa. Boat builder. Infusion?
Well, the simple way to explain it is in an open mold process, which is still a good way to build a boat, and they still do it today and have been doing it for years. You have a laminator that is spraying resin, or he's running it through a chopper gun and he's applying the resin to the dry cloth. Where in infusion, you're letting the vacuum not only suck the resin into the material, but it suck it through the material so you get really good 100% saturation.
It just seems to me like they'd be more consistent.
Very consistent, easy to control, and the EPA, they keep tightening their grips on the manufacturers. This cuts out a lot of the styrene emissions, and so the EPA loves it.
Dave, let me show you a few things I love as a fisherman. First off, see how this grab rail right here is recessed from the rod holders? You can put your hands there comfortably and move them. You know what I like even better? This live well is directly below where people are going to stand while they're riding with a glass lid. Not only is it big and round, it's clear on top. I will know the minute I have trouble with my live well if it gets stopped up. This is the most efficiently laid out helm I've seen.
Well, seawater is very heavy, even the weight of the bait that's in there, and when you put that in the center of the boat, it just helps the CG of the boat so much better.
It absolutely does, Dave. You put it over to one side, you've got to constantly adjust to it on your tabs.
Well, like you were saying earlier, if it's in one corner, if I want to get bait at the same time you do, we're going to be bumping into each other. Here, both of us can dip in there at the same time. Rick, I love the design of this helm. Let's go forward. I want to show you a feature that Stuart designs into their boats that I really like. From a boat builder's perspective, this is really hard to do. They have a toe kick that's all the way around the console and all the way around the fish box for safety and for ease of walking around the boat. You don't stump your toe. This is not an easy way to build the boat. It's expensive, but you know what? It's what they wanted in their design.
What makes it hard?
Well, it's just you have to have a two-piece mold instead of a one-piece mold that you can just bolt down.
I see.
So it's worth the effort because what you get is it's a yacht-like look, and it's on there for a reason.
Oh, it's much more comfortable too. You can stand a whole lot closer to the top than you can if you can't put your feet under it.
Another thing I really like, Rick, is the design of their T-top. This hard top, it's custom made. You can either get it in a Key West top that clears your rod tips, or you can get in a full top if you're not worried about putting rod holders on the side of the console.
Not only that, Dave, but it's got tracks for your curtains. Your curtains are an easy slide in, slide out on a choppy day. Dave, Stuart Boat Works has my favorite fish box arrangement ever. I love these long, what they call coffin boxes. It's easy to gaff a fish, throw him right in there, not have to chase him around the deck to get him in, okay? Not only can they serve as a fish box, they've got a bait tray in them. Take out the divider, it's a fish box. Leave it in, it's the perfect bait tray cooler.
Well, it also makes great dry storage. If you're not fishing, you're not going to put ice in there. Anything you put in there with that lid closed, it's going to stay dry.
That's exactly right. And Dave, let's say you catch as many fish as, so I don't know, I do. Then maybe that's not a big enough fish box for you. They've even got another one down beneath it.
Well, if this is full of fish and ice, you're never going to lift it. One thing Stuart Boat Works has done, they've got a stainless steel actuator in there. There's a button at the helm. This whole thing will lift up automatically, so you're not having to do it by hand.
Oh, wow. So you can have your before noon catch and your afternoon catch.
Right, or you can put your ice below and transfer the ice to the top box during the day as you start putting
But
fish
they're
in.
both super insulated. There's as good insulation in the bottom box as there is the top.
Yes, they use the same exact 2-inch insulation on the bottom box that you find in this cooler.
That's going to hold ice a long time.
All right, Rick, you know, we both like the Stuart Boat Works 26 because of its simplistic design, but after the break, I'm going to show you a boat that is loaded out with features.
Well, that's what Best Boat's all about, Dave. What may be the best boat for you and I is not necessarily the best boat for everybody else. What we want to find is the best boat for you.